Hey everyone, FiGuy448 here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Vanilla Plus. In the last episode, we talked about some house changes, worked out a few things, and worked on the front porch a little bit. Since we've been working so hard, just came down here and made us a little bit of food. And since we've been working so hard, I thought that we would take us a little break. And as you can see in my hotbar, I've got a lot of sand on my in my inventory, and the reason being is we are going to take a beach day today, and I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. But while we walk, I want to inform you guys that I have recorded a few episodes for a brand new series that will be coming up in the very near future. I've got to get in there and make sure everything sounds right and looks right before I actually start posting it, do up the thumbnail, all the other fun stuff that goes on behind the scenes of these videos. But in the very near future, probably within the next, well, by the time this goes up, it'll probably be, it may already be up. Haven't quite determined the timing yet. It just kind of depends on how quickly I get everything done with that new series. But I do, I know I've mentioned this before, but I do work full time and got a lot of other obligations, so I tend to record these episodes in chunks. So I'm not quite sure when it'll go up, if it'll go up just before this one posts or just after, but it should be up very soon, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's kind of out of the ordinary for what's been on this channel so far, but I think you guys will like it. But anyway, let's sleep real quick, and then I'll give you a little bit of insight on what we're going to do today. All right. One of the things I mentioned early on is I did want to have a beach area down here, and that is what we're going to work on today. I've went and I farmed a whole bunch of sand, which has been a challenge because I'm trying not to completely destroy the desert over there. So I took a little bit here, a little bit there, and did some traveling around, so it doesn't look quite as obvious that I've been mining sand. But let me show you guys real quick. I did get a bunch of stacks of sand. I did get some stone and a chisel because I think maybe we can, I don't know, make some sort of little patio area down there, or we may start on the walkway up. It just kind of depends. But anyway, let's get down here. And I don't really have any armor on, so I've got to be a little careful with the descent. Oop, so much for that. Now there is a lot of sandstone here, and actually, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Ooh, marble. I'll have to remember that's there. Most of this hill is going to be pretty much hollowed out, by the way, by the time we're done with the big build. But for right now, let's get out here for just a moment and kind of take a look up. The house is kind of offset over on that side for the most part, but that's okay because I think this is going to be kind of the private beach area, and I want to kind of extend it out around about here. And the reason being is I just want, I think we might put some stuff out here, beach chairs, etc. So let's go ahead and get this filled in. Oops. But one other thing is I'm kind of stuck. Well, not really stuck, but as far as the main house design goes, it's one of those things where I want to make sure I get it right, and to do that, is going to take a little bit of time. So, and I know, some of these guys that you probably watch on the YouTubes do these builds pretty quickly. It's just not really my style. Is I don't really want to go back and redo a bunch of stuff, so I kind of want to do it right the first time. And I'm not the greatest builder in the world, so there's going to be a lot of kind of decisions and figuring stuff out as we go. And I don't necessarily want this to be like straight, but I do want to fill in a good bit of this. Maybe we can steal from that side hill if we run out of sand. And I'm okay with this being solid. I don't want any of that rushing water sound that you hear. And then if we do decide to kind of tunnel underneath, then I can just fill it with dirt. And I know this is probably wasting a lot of sand and you guys are probably face palming, but it's alright, get over it. Alright, and again, a lot of this is going to likely be sand. I kind of want... We can't go too far back into the hill there because I just... Well, you know what? We're probably going to have to fill in a layer of dirt. And I don't have any on me, so let's take our magic shovel here. And we'll get some dirt here. Oh crap, I forgot. When I enchanted the shovel, it has silk touch on it, so I'm actually getting grass blocks. Not really what I want, but I'm mainly concerned with the dirt. Again, this is one of those builds where, you know, as far as the amount of materials is concerned, it's going to be a lot more than anticipated. 64 grass blocks, that's a shame. But you know what? That's okay. Let us get down a layer here and make us a crap. You know, stuff like this is just a huge amount of resources, and it's you don't realize how much you're actually using until you get in here and really start working. The amount of stuff that you're really going to use. I wonder if that will turn into dirt under there, if it's going to stay grass. I would assume it would change. So it's going to look a little weird. That's okay. Mainly just want to fill this in a certain extent so we're not using so much sand. But what I'm thinking is we'll kind of curve this around a little bit. I don't want to come out too far. But I think we definitely do need enough room for you know, some seating, and maybe we'll build a little cabana down here as well. And once we get the rail going in between, maybe we'll have a we'll have to transfer some villagers down here once we get them breeding, so that way we can have us a little I guess a bartender, so to speak. We still have a bunch of sand left, so I think we should be good for a while. But another thing I want to talk to you guys about is some of the other buildings. In the DecoCraft mod, we saw the signs for the different types of vendors, so I think that at some point very soon, maybe we'll probably work on the house some a little bit, because I do want to get that done. I particularly want to get that done in time for the holidays, because I want to use some of the DecoCraft stuff and, you know, do a Christmas tree, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, as far as Halloween, we may just decorate the main house, but eventually I'd like to get enough buildings done where we can kind of decorate the village. And obviously it's going to be resource heavy, but that's okay. But so far I think most of this beach is going to be pretty flat, at least coming out this way, because I envision us kind of building something into the mountain here, kind of a cool pathway up and down. And the problem is that we kind of built right up to the edge, so we don't have a whole lot of room to work with, and I don't really want to build that whole mountain out, because again, that's just going to take a huge amount of resources. But so far I kind of think this is a good depth to the beach. Maybe another couple rows, but I want to make sure that it kind of curves around here. Let's see. We might end up just taking all of this dirt out and then building up like a stairway. I think that might be the way to go about doing this. And then we'll just have I need a good like gray wood, maybe that's looks like it's weathered. And I think that not the eucalyptus, but that other wood, I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but those really weird looking trees, the silver bell wood I think it is, I think that might be a good choice for the stairs here. Alright, I'm just gathering some of this. Where's that bed? Let's toss this bed down here so we can work. And if I'm a little derpy on the controls, the reason being is that the other game with the new series actually has similar controls, but they're different enough where I oftentimes kind of hit the wrong buttons. So you're gonna see me kind of derp around a little bit, but that's okay. You'll forgive me, right? I hope. Alright, let's get some of this on the bar. Dirt. Those grass blocks may come in handy at some point. Let's get down here and make us a layer. Only needs to be one deep because that way we'll use less sand. And if it causes some weird water flows, then obviously I'll fill in. But I think maybe we'll go out about that far. And again, this is going to be completely square. I'm just trying to get kind of a good feel for the beach that we want to have. And maybe we'll build like a jetty, some rock structures out in the ocean to create a sort of a separation. I think that would be kind of cool. But I figured today with just, you know, the building itself, you know, building buildings, I'm not all that great at it, to be honest with you, and kind of just going along with what I feel is right. And right now I don't really have a whole lot of inspiration for the build up top on the hill there. I'm I'm kind of at one of those places where I need to start making decisions on how the layout's going to be. And as far as like some of the detailing and all that goes, I know that is not the most exciting thing in the world to kind of watch someone, go back and forth and try to figure out, what they want to do. But hopefully you guys enjoy some of it, and you can kind of see, the thought process to some of these builds. I know you guys probably go through the same thing when you're playing. But part of the thing in the series is I don't want to, I don't want to hide a lot of the so-called background stuff. Obviously, I will if it's ridiculously tedious. I say that as you guys sit here and watch me place all this sand, but you know what I mean. Some of the decision-making process is a little tedious, but I want you guys to kind of experience that as well, just because maybe you'll have a better appreciation for what goes into producing this kind of content. It's just not all prepackaged, ready to go. There's actually a lot of work behind the scenes, and I want to show you guys some of that. That way, when you guys, one of the big things I've seen, unfortunately, and this is really any comment section on any part of the internet, is people are real quick to kind of bash people for no particular reason. And I think that if people saw the amount of work that goes into these videos, obviously the bigger names put in a lot more work than me, because I'm still learning about the editing process and all that, and these guys are ridiculously good at it, but it's just not something that just comes to you. You've got to put in the work. And I think that a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into these. Even something on my level, there's a lot of work involved. And as far as editing goes, I'll be honest with you, I rarely do. I don't edit a whole lot at all. And some of these guys, they may record 2 hours of content, and it ends up being one 25-minute video. What you don't see is the hour and a half of additional work they put in that they determined wasn't, it didn't make the cut. And that's stuff that happens all the time. There's a couple of videos that I just didn't like, the content, so I turned them into off-camera episodes. One of the main things I want to do is I want to try to show you guys as much as possible, but again, I want you guys to be entertained as well. So if I feel like the episode is really suffering, you guys will never see it, and it'll just be kind of an off-work thing or off-camera thing, or it'll be kind of like a couple episodes ago where there was an update and I didn't realize it and recorded a whole episode with no audio. Well, other than the game audio, which, yeah, I'm still kind of miffed about that, but it's a learning process. Alright, we placed a bunch of sand here, and I kind of like this depth. It's enough where it's not too far out, and I think that it's leaves enough room to kind of put some cool stuff. Obviously the straight edge is not going to remain, and probably going to dig up a lot of this stuff and replace it with sand as my shovel goes bye-bye. But I think you guys kind of get the gist of what trying to accomplish here. And yeah, I kind of like that, the way this comes out. And I think that building a rock structure out this way will be good as well, because that way this can kind of be private-ish. And then, whatever, we got the desert over there, but this can be kind of the private party beach. And we'll add some stuff here and there to make it look cool. Oh wow, how deep is that? No, that's a good place to stash some sand for later. But yeah, we'll kind of bend this around a little bit. Obviously, I'll kind of fix this up a little bit so it doesn't look quite so terrible. But I think that you guys kind of get the drift of what's going on here, and maybe we will. I don't want to go out too far, but maybe we'll extend this out a couple rows, so that way we'll have some beach access all along here. So I kind of want this to feel like a private beach for the most part, and I think if we put a like a jetty out over there, kind of extending out, and I don't know, maybe we'll put one out here too. Yeah, that way this will be kind of the private beach area for the house, and maybe we'll make some sort of cool wall with some gates to make it look kind of cool. All this sand is I'll probably mine all this sand to use, just because I kind of want to build a structure that kind of climbs the outside of this up to the top, like a big deck. Maybe we'll put some platforms out here, add some seating, kind of make it really fancy looking, because I want it to look good from not only the village side, but if we expand our realm out this way, any boats that come in, I kind of want them to have a really cool view here, and we'll obviously pretty up the edges of that as well to make it look really cool. But I think if we do a stairs and decking structure that kind of winds its way up the hill all the way up here and maybe dumps out over in this area, then I think that'll look really cool. But anyway, we're about out of time, so I think we're going to wrap it up here in just a minute or so. Next episode, we may continue work on the beach. We may go back to building. Haven't decided yet. Haven't really mapped out the next few episodes. I do want to keep enough variety in to where it stays fresh, but there's just a lot of resource gathering that needs to be done, and that obviously takes a whole lot of time, which unfortunately, at least as of late, I haven't had a whole lot of time. So I will do the best I can, and we may just have to have another adventure where we kind of go off in a direction and see what we can find as far as new materials go. Obviously, it's still going to need a whole bunch of blue dye for the DecoCraft stuff. The cactuses and the red, I don't have an issue with getting, because that's all that there is around here. But the blue dye is still going to be troublesome. Also, I was going to make a shovel earlier, and I seem to have misplaced a lot of iron. Either that, or we have gone through a lot of iron. I know I've gone through a lot of picks and a lot of shovels, and I make iron shovels. I don't know why. I guess just because it's easier and the durability is a little bit higher. But when I go out and mine all this sand, it just kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense to use iron. So maybe I need to change that up a little bit. But anyways, if you guys like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you guys hit the subscribe button as well, you'll be notified when that new series hits. Like I said, it's probably going to be within the next several days. I don't know if this will be out before it hits or not, but it is a little more towards the mature side as far as content goes. There's no curse words or anything in it, at least to my knowledge, at least not from me. But it is a little on the violent side and a little gory. So if you're young or get grossed out or scared easily, you may want to maybe take a quick preview, have mom or dad take a look at it to see if it's appropriate for you or not. It's a difficult game, as you'll see when the episodes drop, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, until next time, this is FiGuy448 signing off, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.